All right, go live. Come on, go to the camera. See what they can hear. Come on in. Take a seat. What's that song? Come on in. Take a seat. No, not that song. And have your presence. We acknowledge your presence, oh Lord. Oh, oh. Come on in. Hey, Sister Pamela Morton. Bless you, my daughter. Angela, Reverend Gray, Minister Rab. I'm terrible. Listen, good afternoon. Welcome to Behind the Scenes at the New Kingdom Baptist Church. Before we get started, I want to let you all know that we had a delightful worship experience this morning at the Kingdom. Our praise team did a phenomenal job. Our production and sound team did an awesome job. The few people that was here, they gave me some amens, I guess, every now and then.
We gave you a lot of amens. We encouraged you.
No, we had great words. The Lord came by and saw about us. But this is a segment that we try to do every Sunday called Behind the Scenes, where pastor interviews and spotlights different individuals in our congregation, that those that are a part of this pandemic crew, if you will, and then individuals in our congregation that are worthy of spotlight. So the last 3 weeks, we've been trying to honor mothers, but because of technology and sound and the enemy and Governor Tom Wolf last week, we weren't able to have this interview. So I have two phenomenal mothers here with me today. We gave their introduction last week, and I'm not going to really, I'm just going to ask them to tell me their names and what they do here and how many children they have, and then I am going to bring the mic back to me. So start with the oldest.
Good afternoon. I'm Reverend Keisha Dandy. I'm the pastor's admin, and I'm also associate minister here at the New Kingdom Baptist Church, as well as the co-leader of the women's ministry. I am 42, and
Woo!
I have...
You old. Type in the comment section, say, baby bless you, you old. Type in Mother Dandy, Mother Dandy. Mother Dandy.
And I have 3 children, 25, 23, and 18.
We about to get you a dually for your head and sit you on a mother's bench.
Hi, everybody. My name is Minister Brown, one of the newest associate ministers at the New Kingdom Baptist Church. I have one son. He is 4 years old. I am the servant leader for the audio ministry and the outreach ministry.
So that's why my mic be jacked up every Sunday. So y'all know, when y'all can't hear me and I'm looking really angry, we know who to blame. The newest associate minister of the New Kingdom Church, Minister Brown. It's like, no, they both do a phenomenal job in the roles that they play here. So Mother's Day, as we all know, were a few weeks ago, and the Lord laid on my heart to spotlight 2 mothers in our congregation who has persevered through obstacles and different trials and tribulations, if you will, and have turned into phenomenal mothers, and also have raised and still raising some phenomenal children. Now, you heard me mention one of my young people in my sermon by the name of Moon. That's her son. And he is one of those that runs around the church very, as boys do. I used to do it when I was little. But I want Minister Brown now to just share with us her journey as a mother. And right now, where she normally would be on tour, she's kind of famous, if you will. She tours for a lot of people, and she does all the shows at the Dell. Don't be inboxing me and saying, can she hook me up with some tickets? No, the answer is no, because I'm getting all the tickets. Like, no, I don't like concerts. But anyhow, just to share with us your experience raising a child, being a mother on the road, and some of the highs and lows that you experience.
Right now, with the COVID-19, my Dell season has been canceled, and my all of my shows have been postponed until November. But we've been believing God. We haven't missed no meals. We haven't missed no bills. Everything is all good. Moon is only 4. I found out I was pregnant right when I was in London, touring with
London.
yeah.
Wow.
When I was touring with the Jacksons, and I
Hold
kept
up.
it a
The
I kept-
Jacksons.
yes.
Oh, you popping.
I kept it a secret for a long time because the industry, they don't really like a lot of females, especially black or brown ones and young ones. So I didn't want to tell anybody I was pregnant. So I toured almost 5 months without telling anybody, and then had Moon, and I went right to the Dell to work, pumping and moving and doing
Right, like the day after.
no,
Oh,
like a week, like maybe
Wow.
2 weeks afterwards, and I went straight back to working full time and doing
can
the
I interrupt you?
tour.
Was there a need to provide for your child? That's why you went back so fast, or it was just your fortitude and determination?
It's my company, and nobody, and the people.
Oh, so you have to explain that to us. You say my company. What do you mean by that?
It's my touring. So we have I'm a production manager, and we have a touring company that my dad created for me and my sisters, and we are in charge of a lot of things. And I I work with a number of individuals that are great at what they do. I am just like a micromanager, low key. So I needed to, and I was getting restless. So I needed to be in a place. So that's what was going on, and that's pretty much it. I have a great support team. I'm a single parent, but Moon's dad is amazing. When I go on tour, him and my mom work things out. So I don't, he's always taken care of. Um, thank you for that. It's very important right now for young people to understand that it is okay to co-parent as long as you just mind your business. That your child is your only business, and I don't need to know anything else about what's going on unless he's safe, and that's it.
Okay. Mind your thorns. Somebody preached that a few weeks ago. I asked a question. I don't know if I really got an answer.
Oh,
You gave
I
us
don't know.
you gave us a lot of information, and
Oh,
we're
I just-
grateful. What are some of the highs and the lows of being a single mother?
Um, the highs is we've been in church our whole entire life, and I grew, Moon's 4, so he don't know anything but church. The highs.
He loves his pastor, by the way.
The highs is that I'm able to. I have a newfound way of living. I struggle with depression. Even had some attempts of suicide. And when Moon was born, he gave me a new outlook. That is the high. Every single day I get up, and I know that that is why I'm supposed to be going. And also, what I tell people is, females who are single, who struggling with anxiety. This sounds crazy, but God forbid you do something to yourself. No one going to take care of your son like you are. And that's what I had to remember. I go to therapy consistently, and and that's something that she asks, like, well, what keeps you from not doing this? And I was saying all these things, and I was saying scriptures, and I was saying, man, I seen my mom dress my son for a week when I was on tour, and I never want him to look like that. So, but that's it. And so that's my highs and my lows. The highs is that I get a new time to breathe. My lows is that I still struggle with depression and anxiety and all of those things. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Same question to you, Reverend Danny, but in a different kind of context. You have successfully raised. You have 3 children, and all of them are adults for the most part. You have a daughter that, and we're gonna get to that in a second. But how were you able to raise 2 male children in the climate in which we live in that have successfully completed, grade school, college, as a single mother, and explain that to me.
Well, first, it was God. It was I depended on God a whole lot, and then as Nikki said, Minister Brown said, it's your support system. I have a huge support system. I have my mother, my sister, and a couple family members that was always there to help me um, raise my sons. Because since I was a single parent, I worked, I went to school, tried to get my degree at the same time, and I still came home and had to help my children with their works. I still did extracurricular activities with them, and so it was that. I can't say so much of co-parenting, but at a time I did co-parent with the parents. But sometimes the other parent was not there. They were. Sometimes the other parent was absent, and I had to just depend on my family members to kind of help me out. But sometimes they were there. My oldest son father really wasn't there. He was the financial provider, and my second son father, he was there sometimes, but for the most part it was me, and just God, and asking God to direct me of which way to do this. Even being as though I was a young parent, I became a parent at the age of 16. So I really depended on my mother a lot to help me.
So, I mean, what I'm hearing from the both of you that you all have tremendous support systems. So, I think one of the key points I want to give to any mother that may be watching or aspiring mothers is that you surround yourself with a support team, whether it's biological or non-biological, whether it's your church family, whatever it is, to help you navigate and move through parental waters as you attempt to raise a child. Now, Reverend Dandy, you're raising a daughter, and I hope you don't mind me sharing that lost her father at a young age, and then now she is experiencing her senior year in high school, but no prom, no graduation. How does that make you feel as a mother, and what kind of support down through the years from a lack of a father perspective, and then now during this time of she's not having a normal commencement like the average high school senior?
Well, um, it took me kind of for a loop, because I was down for some time, because this year we were planning this big prom, this big graduation thing, and her biggest thing was that, she said she wanted this poster board with her dad, and I'm like, where we putting that at? And she was like, I need my dad to be present. Even when she took her graduation picture, she had a picture of her dad, and she took her graduation picture with her dad. So, because she wanted him to be there, and that's all she would talk about, is because the years that she spent with him, her 6 years, her tender years, she spent very closely with him. So, after his passing, she went through a great deal of depression. Um, I put her in counseling for years. She was in counseling for like 3 years. Even when she got when she got into high school, she had to go back into counseling, because when she was start dealing with, seeing your friends and they have a parent, and you knew your parent and y'all had a good relationship, and now you don't have one. And it also became to a point where she was afraid for me to go places without her. Like, I even had to, on my iPhone, I have to allow her to know my location at all times, because she said her biggest fear is that she would lose me, and she couldn't deal with losing both of her parents at this time. So it was hard to even talk about. And now we're talking about going to college, and this is something that she want to do. She wants to go to college, and we just looking forward to college. She took away, like, she didn't want to participate in the virtual prom. That wasn't for her. She's not really interested in a virtual graduation. She wanted to walk down the aisle. She wanted to have a cap and a gown, and everything else didn't matter to her. So it hurt me that I couldn't allow her. Well, it wasn't even me. It's the act of God and what's going on in our world that she can't experience that. And all I wanted to do was to make it the best for her. So it hurted me more than probably it actually hurt her. Because I remember it was a couple nights that I laid in the bed and I cried. So I don't even know how many nights she cried that didn't tell me. But I cried because I was hurting because I seen the hurt in my daughter.
So, uh, do you have, and Minister Brown wants you to be prepared to ask, answer this question after I ask Reverend Dan. I want you to give you some time to think about it. How do you plan on sheltering Moon from the cruel streets of Philadelphia, raising him in Philly as a male child? I want you to think about that. You, Reverend Dandy, are you doing anything to kind of supplement or to make up or to provide a different avenue to celebrate your daughter's accomplishments? 12 years. That's.
So, yes.
I mean, if you don't want it on live because it's a surprise, you don't gotta really go.
No,
there.
it's
Okay.
no, it's something that we talked over. No, it's something that we just talked over because her school still didn't decide. They said they was going to do a virtual graduation. She didn't want to do it, and but then they said they probably would do a real graduation probably in August. So what I had decided was if they do it in August, it would be I guess the graduation supposed to be August 13th. So August 15th, I was just going to have a big celebration.
That's not a Sunday, is it?
Yeah, it is. No, it's a Saturday. I'm sorry.
Okay. How about as soon as we get back to church, people want to start having stuff on Sunday.
No. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday. We're going to do it on a Saturday. And I'm trying to work it out, plan it. I'm waiting on, what the city say we can actually do. But I wanted to do something big. It would be her graduation. It will also be her trunk party as well because she'll be leaving for college on August the 22nd. She's going to Cheyney University.
See you.
Cheyney University. Amen. All right, Minister Brown.
Hi. So I'm a graduate of Cheyney University. I think that's an awesome school. Raising a male, period, whether you're a single mother or not, raising a black male, brown male in America is very, very difficult and it's very, very scary. And I didn't understand. I was on tour when the Ferguson things happened, and it was the scariest thing to see females holding their kids closely on the road. So that's very, very scary for me. We pray every morning, which is something that I did because I went to Catholic school, but it's something that we institute. We do the Lord's Prayer every single morning. So the only thing that I'm doing different or what I'm trying to do is make sure he has a personal relationship with Christ, and I'm making sure that I don't, whatever my feelings are, if I make sure that his dad is in his life consistently, and I open that up for he has a number of uncles and cousins. I keep him in church. I keep him under different men. I make sure that he's around men. And he does boy things and not being smart, but I make sure that he's involved with sports, and I limit what he watches on YouTube. I am kind of a young mom because I never had kids, so I don't, you don't know until you know. So I monitor what he watches on YouTube. He wants an Xbox, and I monitor those things. It's certain things that I didn't even know what was going to be, that I was going to, something just kicks into you. When you have a kid, something just kicks in you. So I'm very protective of my child, but I make sure that he knows what the world is. I teach him different things. I tell him, even the smallest things are saying, yeah, you got to say yes. Now, I still say yeah, but Moon, so that's what I'm doing.
Lead by example, mother. Lead by example. He's only going to do what he hear you do. Church say amen. All right, we're getting ready to go. I kind of want to just end with both of you answering a question, a very simplistic question. What kind of advice would you give a mother who's struggling right now raising children? From your own experience, from your own, what you've been through, good or bad. If you had to sum it up into like a 2 to 3 sentence, what would you say to a mother that may go back and watch this or are watching now to give them hope and some encouragement? Anybody can go first.
My pastor said something a while ago.
Who's your pastor? I'm just curious.
Pastor Daniel M. Jackson.
Where you pastor at?
At the New Kingdom Baptist Church.
Okay. And that's in Northern Liberties? Go ahead.
He said something a while ago, and it changed me, and it still is. And he said, you may shift, but you won't shatter. So you may shift, but you won't shatter. So every single time when you wake up in the morning and you feel like, oh, man, I can't make it, or I don't have enough money, we are like it's something in us that we're just go-getters, females. We embody something completely different than men, and I don't care what you say.
Shady, shady,
We
shady.
do. So it's going to get better. That's all. You may shift, but you won't shatter.
That's a good word. Somebody need to put that in the comments section. Hashtag that. Shift, but won't shatter.
You trying to get an offering?
No, not today. I did that earlier. I did that earlier. See? God don't like ugly. Now she done forgot talking about an offer. I'm trying to get an offering. The question was, what kind of advice would you give to a mother who may be struggling, that may stumble across this video or maybe watch it even now from your own life experience and perspective?
The first thing I would say is trust God. And I know y'all probably saying you always keep saying God, but God has been so good. He's so awesome to me. I trust him. Even when I want to doubt him, I still trust him. The other thing is you have to get a support system. You can't do it all alone as a parent. No matter how we try, even if it's not your family members, even if you have to go to your friends, you have to trust them. I mean, have somebody else to lean on. And the second thing is take time out for yourself. You have to take
That's a
some
good one.
time out for yourself. Even if,
That's a good
my
one.
thing was when I would come home from work, I will always tell my kids, give me at least 15 minutes. I need 15 minutes to unwind from coming from work.
Get some wine.
No, unwind.
Oh, unwind. Oh, I thought you said, I'm about to say, Jesus done it again.
Unwinding from coming from work, and then now having to come home and parenting. So it's like a second job. You just getting 15 minutes in between. But let me just get my thoughts together because I know that you're coming at me with some questions. You need some help for something, and I need that time. And then I work with the kids. I work with my kids. I deal with my kids. So I think that's the most important thing that you can do, and they just know that you can do it. It may seem hard, but what God did for me, He could do for you, and under any circumstances.
She about to holler. I feel the preach coming. Go ahead, Reverend. Go ahead.
Under any circumstances, because I think I even this morning I had to go back and think about how I was young. I was 16 and I became a mother, and so many people doubted me and said that I would be a statistic and that I
Come
would
on
be
here.
nothing.
Where Chuck at?
From that point, I felt like I had to prove to everybody that I am somebody, that God called me to be somebody, and that I would be the best mother that I could possibly be. And I was in the 12th grade, and I still continue on with going to school.
Yes.
I still graduated.
Grab
the
that
top
air, girl.
3 of my class, and I was an honor roll student, and then I continued to go on into community college, but later going on to get my bachelor's degree. It's nothing that God can't do for you. You can continue to raise your children, and they can be the best children ever. Just because I come from North Philly, I don't have to act like I'm from North Philly. I'm just a product of North Philly, but God called me to be greater, and that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be greater. So teach your children, even in the moments they seem like they have a little dumb moment. It may be a little dumb, but just continue to pour into them some positive things, that you are the head and not the tail, above and beneath, and you will become something.
Somebody say yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, that was good. We're going. Can you do me a favor and just hit the love button for both of these young ladies, Minister Brown and Reverend Dandy, who in my eyes are tremendous parents, mothers, and they do a great job within their local church, and I am glad that they are a part of this branch. I hit that love button for them. Let them know that you love them, that you appreciate their words, their transparency in this conversation. Last but not least, I want to share with you all from the kingdom that is watching, in the days to come, as I stated earlier, we all know that Donald Trump said that he's overriding governors and he's doing this and he's doing that. And some of you have even texted me and called me as far as what are we going to do. Pastor is strategically being patient, number one. I've already heard from God in what direction I need to go in, but I'm being patient. Number two, I'm putting together a re-entry team, which will be made up of individuals from our congregation along with one medical doctor to help us put together a full plan on how we will re-enter our sanctuary when the time comes. There will be a whole plan that you will receive in a newsletter. Within about 2 weeks, it will be sent to your home on how we plan on re-entering our sanctuary. We just can't say the doors of the church are open and let people come in without a plan. So that's what I will be working on. Pray for us. Secondly, we're working on Zelle. A lot of you have inquired about another way of electronically giving. So we're working on the Zelle so that we'll be able to have that, so you'll be able to use that. Because if you want to give, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to give to this branch of Zion. The Agape Food Program will be closed tomorrow for the holiday, but we will reopen on Tuesday at 9 a.m. We love you with the love of God. We'll see you next Sunday at 11 a.m. for worship and behind the scenes. You don't want to miss it. You'll never know who will be featured. God bless you. God keep using my prayer.